At 92, Kim Novak finally tells the truth about Tony Curtis, and her reflection is not a tale of scandal or bitterness, but a nuanced, deeply human recollection shaped by time, experience, and a clearer understanding of who they both were during Hollywood's most demanding era, because Novak explains that when she and Curtis crossed paths at the height of their fame, they were two young stars navigating an industry that rewarded image over honesty and charisma over emotional maturity, and while Curtis was widely known for his dazzling charm, quick wit, and irresistible confidence, Novak now reveals that behind that polished exterior was a man under immense pressure to perform not just on screen, but in every aspect of public life, constantly expected to be brilliant, desirable, and unshakable, and she admits that at the time, his larger-than-life personality could feel overwhelming, even frustrating, especially for someone like her who was naturally private, introspective, and uncomfortable with Hollywood's relentless spotlight. Yet with age and distance, Novak says she came to recognize that Curtis's bravado was as much armor as it was personality, a way of surviving an industry that rarely allowed men or women to show vulnerability, and she recalls moments when his kindness, intelligence, and genuine curiosity surfaced quietly, away from cameras and expectations, moments that rarely made headlines but left a lasting impression on her, and Novak is candid in acknowledging that they were not always on the same emotional wavelength, describing Curtis as someone who thrived on attention and momentum, while she longed for stillness, authenticity, and control over her own life, a contrast that sometimes created tension but also reflected the broader cultural pressures placed on stars of their generation, and what surprises many is Novak's lack of resentment, as she speaks with compassion rather than judgment, saying that Tony Curtis was not a villain or a hero, but a product of his time, talented, driven, flawed, and often misunderstood, and she also emphasizes that Hollywood rarely allowed young actors the space to grow emotionally, forcing them into roles both on screen and off before they truly knew themselves, and now, in her 90s, Novak says the real truth about Tony Curtis is that he was far more complex than his public persona suggested, a man who made mistakes, sought approval, and carried his own insecurities beneath the glamour. And in sharing this perspective, she is not rewriting history, but softening it, replacing gossip with understanding and myth with humanity, reminding us that behind every Hollywood legend are real people shaped by pressure, fear, ambition, and hope, and as Kim Novak reflects with clarity and grace, her words serve less as a revelation and more as a quiet reckoning with the past, offering audiences a fuller, more compassionate picture of Tony Curtis and an era that demanded perfection while rarely allowing peace. And for more thoughtful reflections on the lives behind the legends, stay tuned to Hollywood Spotlight.